When we all received the phone call on March 13th, stating we would not return to school for 2 weeks, nobody would have ever guessed we would not return to school again that year. Adding to that, no one would have thought that the virus would still affect us the way it does today as it did 8 months ago. There were a lot of questions going through people's minds regarding school alone as they looked ahead to the rest of the school year. One may have wondered, how is the FHS Press newspaper going to be published? Or will it be at all? Through all of this, Print Media Workshop was able to still meet deadlines and publish newspapers as they have in previous times, with the help of Mr. Fitzpatrick and returning members. The class was also able to safely distribute copies of the newspaper during food distribution times throughout all locations. Some questions are going to be answered regarding their times working through the lockdown.
Getting people to see our news. We publish all of our news on our online site, but not a lot of people view that. More people view our paper that we print, but during the pandemic, we definitely cut down on the numbers of papers we get. We cut down, I think, to 300, so it was very limited. We only did it at the food distribution.
A loss of content. Most of our stories became about the pandemic in general. We really had to go above and beyond to make our deadlines, to meet them.
It was definitely communication. It was really difficult to stay on top of everyone and make sure every staff member was completing their work since I couldn't talk to them in person.
Overall, I thought it was pretty much the same. It was pretty easy going online. Everyone kind of knew what we had to do every month. It was pretty much the same thing. You just gotta keep up with your deadlines and make sure everything is turned in.
Especially stepping into a new role as editor-in-chief of the paper this year, I found it very difficult to try and start with a new staff.
It was definitely easier than I expected because of communication resources like Google Meet, email, and text messaging.
I think our staff, we did spend a lot more time making sure deadlines were being met, and we were still going above and beyond and publishing stuff that we approved of, and it was still good.
But all of them are great, and they have all grown already, and I am so excited to see what comes next. I'm so excited to get to actually be with them again and see them and get to work with them on this publication.
The FHS Press staff and myself spent tons of time outside of class making sure deadlines were being followed and everyone was trying their best. We knew that everyone was going through a challenging time because of the virus, but we spent countless hours staying up late to work on assignments through Google Meet and making sure every staff member was trying and feeling their absolute best.
I also wanted to speak to new members who decided to join Print Media Workshop. When selecting the class, they kept in mind the potential of our school starting out as virtual, which it did. Knowing this, I asked them questions as to why they chose to take the class, knowing the challenges it would bring.
I was definitely aware of the obstacles that we would have to face as a class while doing this all virtually, but I still had chosen to take the class because I had planned already on taking it. And even before the pandemic started, it was an interest of mine.
When I took the class, I didn't really know about any of the obstacles. I honestly had no idea what would happen, so I just took it anyways. If I knew the challenges, I'd probably still take it because I think it's going pretty smoothly.
Yes, I did realize some of the obstacles we were going to face during the pandemic, not being able to meet in person. But I still chose to take the class because I liked writing articles and I wanted to take a part in the yearbook.
Constantly hopping on Google Meets when needed to help us out because it's a lot harder to learn how this all works when you are learning over a screen and not in person.
Because they're pretty organized and they explain things further.
If we have questions, we can always ask them and they'll always be there for us. They also explain stuff really good to us.